The truth is, I don't have discipline, and I have never had it. Always I tell myself, today I'm gonna work as hell on my channel. I will work out, I'll read 50 pages in the book that I started, and what I really do is, I just sleep most of the day. But after struggling for so long, I finally figured out the truth. Discipline is a lie. Overthinking discipline can really get toxic. We have all seen those YouTube videos and Instagram posts of people who seem to have their lives completely under control. You know, they wake up, take a cold shower, eat only salad, and somehow manage to run a business, work out, and read books all in one day. Honestly, I tried to do that. I thought, hey, if they can do that, why can't I? So I would set these crazy goals for myself. Wake up early, stretch, take a cold shower, drinking coffee while reading, then working on my project for 6 hours straight. After that, hit the gym, eat super clean, no junk food, no sugar, nothing. It sounded like the perfect plan, right? But here's the thing. Every single night I would go to the bed feeling like a failure. I would ask myself, why didn't I go to the gym today? Why didn't I eat super clean? Why did I eat that piece of cake? Why didn't I read 30 pages of my book? I was torturing myself with these questions, and it was killing my motivation. The worst part? I wasn't making any real progress. I was just stuck in this loop of overthinking, trying to be perfect, and failing every single time. Never asked why discipline. Is it really very important? You have probably heard the saying, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That's a famous quote from Jim Rohn, a famous entrepreneur and a motivational speaker. And it's true, discipline is what helps you to stay consistent, and consistency is what leads you to real progress. Every major achievement in history, every scientific breakthrough, every successful business, none of it would have been possible without discipline. But here's the thing, it's not the kind of discipline they are talking about now. Anyway, discipline isn't just about achieving big goals, it's also the small, everyday actions that lead to those big goals. Take the story of J.K. Rowling, for example. Before she became one of the most famous authors in the history, she wrote the first Harry Potter books in cafes while her baby daughter slept next to her, and she faced a lot of rejection before getting published. But what kept her going? The discipline to write every single day, even when it felt like the whole world against her. She created a world that has captivated millions of readers around the globe. Or consider Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the best basketball players. He once said some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. What made him different? It wasn't just talent. It was his relentless discipline. He was the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave. He was known for his incredible work ethic, and that's what made him a legend. Discipline is the force that transforms dreams into reality. There's more to it than just sheer willpower. Let's talk about what discipline actually is. A lot of people think discipline is forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do. And to be honest, doing stuff that you don't want to do is a part of discipline, but it's not all the discipline. I believe you heard that quote saying, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but nonetheless you do it like you like it. Mike Tyson said that. I don't know. Actually, I agree with him in somehow, but I disagree with people who imagine it as this harsh, rigid routine where you sleep at 10 p.m., wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. maximum, take a cold shower, eating only salads, working for 6 hours, running for another hour. Anyway, this crazy routine, you know, and never have fun. Discipline means a big achievement for them, but that's not what really discipline is. Real discipline isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Discipline is loving yourself, Actually, it's the best form of self-love. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's all about doing that small things that add up over time, not just the big things that look good on social media. Now let me share a story from the book Atomic Habits. It talks about the British cycling team. For years, they were one of the most worst teams in the world. But then they hired a new coach, Dave Brailsford, who introduced a concept called the aggregation of marginal gains. And instead of trying to make huge changes, he focused on tiny 1% improvements in every aspect of the team's performance. They improved the seats on their bikes, the fabric of their uniforms, even the way they washed their hands to avoid getting sick. These small changes didn't seem that much on their own, but when combined, they made a huge difference. Within a few years, the British team went from being the laughingstock of the sport to winning multiple Olympic gold medals and a Tour de France title. Now here's a personal example. Instead of trying to wake up at 4 a.m., I started getting up just 1 hour earlier than usual. And instead of forcing myself to read 30 pages of a book, I just started with 5 pages. And instead of cutting out all junk food right away, I gradually eat less of it without completely giving it up. Over time, I noticed I was waking up a lot earlier, reading more, and even some days I didn't think about eating junk food. A side note, I lost about 6 kilos. It might not be a huge achievement, but I'm happy with it. Now, here's a little trick I use. I create a simple plan that I know I can stick to it. I tell myself I'll read 5 pages at my reading corner while drinking coffee. Or I will work out for 1 hour at the gym after praying Fajr. By being specific about what, when, and where, it makes it easier for me to stick to it. And also making specific places for specific activities, like having a corner only for reading, it really helped a lot. And I've talked about it in my previous guide. You can watch it after this one. Our goal is making habits that stick. And you can do it by making a plan as simple as possible. Now we know what discipline really is and why it's very important. Let's talk about how to build a strong discipline. Building discipline is like building a muscle. It takes time, effort, and consistency. But just like muscles, you can start slow and gradually building up your strength. I'll give you 5 steps to build a real and strong discipline. Number 1, start with small wins. Instead of trying to fix your entire life, just start with a small habit. Maybe it's drinking 1 glass of water after waking up, or maybe reading 5 pages before sleeping. The key is to start small. And I'm gonna give you one simple advice from the book called The Power of Habit. Charles Duhigg talks about the concept keystone habits. These are small habits that have a ripple effect, leading to positive changes in other areas in your life. For example, people who start exercising, they often start eating healthier, sleeping better, and being more productive. Exercise becomes a keystone habit that triggers a chain of positive behaviors. Number 2, set clear and achievable goals. Discipline is much easier when you know what you are working towards. Set clear, specific, and achievable goals. And don't just focus on the outcome, focus on the process itself. And instead of saying, I will lose about 20 pounds of my weight, you can say, I will work for 1 hour after having my coffee, or eating a balanced diet. You can even break those 2 habits into smaller ones. And instead of a balanced diet, you will just start with cutting off one kind of junk food you usually eat. Let's say pizza, for example, and replace it with a healthier choice. By setting clear, specific, and achievable goals, you can achieve more in less time. And as I said, don't focus on the outcomes. Step number 3, create a routine. When you create a routine, you are setting yourself up for success. Routine helps you reduce the decisions you make every day, making it easier to focus and avoid distractions. Your routine doesn't have to be super strict or complicated, just something you can stick to consistently. Let's say, for example, after waking up, just start your day by reading 5 pages while drinking your morning coffee. And after drinking your coffee, just do a quick workout, maybe 10 push-ups, anything. Just make it as a routine. Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act. it's a habit. This quote reminds us that discipline isn't something you do just once. It's a habit that you build over time, one tiny step at a time. Stick number 4, track your progress. Track your progress, even if it's in a simple journal. Write down what you did each day and celebrate your small wins. This is not only helps you stay motivated, but helps you to say how far you have come. Jerry Seinfeld, one of the most famous comedians of all time, used a simple method to build his writing discipline. He would write a joke every day and mark a big red X on the calendar. Every day, he wrote one. His goal was never break the chain of X's. This simple method helped him to build a strong habit. And as I said, he wrote one joke every day. One simple joke. It's that simple, bro. It's not a big deal. Small step at a time. And the step 5. Have fun with failure. Finally, remember this. Failure is just part of the process. You're not going to get everything right, and that's totally okay. What matters most is that you keep going. Every time you stumble, you're actually learning and growing. As Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've found 10,000 ways that not working." But here is a pro tip. Never let a single day goes by without doing something. I remember days when I went to the gym, just did one exercise for 7 sets, and after that I left. Sounds crazy, right? But I did it. And many times, by the way, not just for once. And actually it worked. Now I have discipline. I couldn't let that day pass without working out, even if it was just one exercise. Just don't let go. That's how I'm shaping my future self. That's how I'm becoming that man. Let's end up this video saying future you depending on current you.